it's really useful to understand that what JavaScript can become in the coming times, right? So I'm going to go and share my desktop all here. Right, so also I'll start my recording because as I told that Pradeep is going to record, but I would like to just ensure that I also do the recording part here. So that's Camtasia. That's my microphone. Full screen recording.
Half displayed.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
How do I do it? Like it's half
second.
displayed. Why?
It's a resolution issue, I guess. 1 second, let me check.
Is it my resolution issue?
Yes, sir.
Acha, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, this one is. What should I do? The settings. That's bad. So that's my resolution. You want me to change that to something else? 100%
Yes.
recommended?
Right.
Okay. Can you view now? Oh, that's too small, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, now we can see properly.
Oh,
I
is
can
it?
see the whole screen properly.
Okay.
But are you able to see
Okay.
yourself?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, like at the age of 40, we try to see actually. So I'll just confirm with everyone that can you see my screen properly? So so yes. Yeah, let us take a confirmation. I'm not sure. It's possible because I came out from a training room now, and in that training room I had a projector, and it is possible that my settings would have gone up and down, right? So good. So let me go and share my desktop. All I can see that everybody can see my screen. That's nice. And so you can see that we have hardly 15 attendees over here, and but this session I wanted to take myself because I felt that Electron node, then we have those what do you call app JavaScript, and all these frameworks are showing a direction of JavaScript which is much greater than what we can feel, right? So even if the audience is small here, I would like to still I'm very enthusiastic about this session because I know that down the line we have to see what is the future of JavaScript, right? Electron.js. So I'm sure that everybody must have heard about it, but let me quickly tell you that's the homepage of Electron.js. There it is, and the whole goal of Electron.js is to build cross-platform desktop apps using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, right? So how does it work? Like one of the things you must be wondering is that, so if I want to create a desktop application using HTML and JavaScript, right? Can't I just go and create an HTML and just run it, just run it from the local machine? Now remember that, running something from a local machine. So let us say that you create an HTML page and you just double click and run it. You are always running inside the browser's area. And once you are inside the Chrome browser's thing, right? Chrome will not allow you to create a file. It will not allow you to access any drivers. It will not allow you to do anything native with the operating system. So we need to have some kind of a framework, wherein we want to go and run JavaScript in such a way that the JavaScript can access the native capabilities of the platform. So let's say if I'm having Windows operating system, then probably I would like to go and stop a process at the background, right? I would like to go and create an icon on the desktop. So I want to actually get access to that native operating system. I would like to make native calls to the API and do something, right? And that's where this Electron is. So how is this Electron built? So here is my syllabus, what I have for today. So first is I'm going to go and discuss Electron.js. I will discuss the basic, what you call the needs or the basic installation what we need for Electron.js, the architecture. And then I would discuss, how, the 4 components in Electron.js, one is the main process, the rendering process and application, right? How they work with each other. Okay, there is a background noise. Can you hear me, Pradeep? I'm not sure. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, I can see there is some audio. No audio. Okay. So, and then also we will see that, okay, how do you do package management? So once you have created the application, right, you would like to go and create an EXE and create a setup and then put it in your operating system for the end users to use, right? And we will see how to debug Electron, and also I will talk about IPC events for communication. So remember that this is not a full-blown Electron, what you call tutorial, but definitely it will help you to understand that how Electron works. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go and remove all these chats over here. Wait. Okay. So first thing we talked about Electron.js. Now, how does Electron.js work? Actually, what is the way Electron.js works? So what Electron.js does, it actually uses the Chrome engine. So we all know that this Chrome engine, or we can say Chromium, right? It is the best thing what has happened to JavaScript. If you look at Node, Node also uses Chrome, right? If you look at a lot of those JavaScript frameworks, when they talk about compiling JavaScript, everybody looks at Chrome, right? So in the same way, Electron also is running inside Chrome. So it has taken the Chrome engine, but what it has done is, he has broken the Chrome engine in such a way saying that, okay, Chrome engine, that I will run inside Chrome, but Chrome will not have that, it can access the native capabilities of the operating system. So it has broken that rule of Chrome and it has made it like a desktop application. So at the end of the day, this Electron guy actually runs inside Chrome, but it removes the restriction of the Chrome that it can manipulate files, it can start a service, it can go and go to must be your system 32 if you wish, right? So those things are removed. And finally, this Electron.js compiles an exe, a lightweight exe, which you can go and place it in your operating system and you can run the application. Okay, so that's the basic thought process, the way Electron is made. Now to have Electron.js, right, in your project out here, so what I will do is, let me go to Visual Studio. I'm using Visual Studio, because I expect that only a lot of Microsoft guys come actually, to Mumbai Techie Group. So from that point of view, I've used Visual Studio. You can happily use VS Code. At least I think, for applications like Electron, VS Code is a more better IDE or more better editor, I'll say, right? But at this moment, let me use Visual Studio, because it's just that I feel comfortable, I feel at home. Okay. So what I will do is, in Visual Studio, we have a nice setup here, this nice template here, which is HTML application with JavaScript. So I will just take this so that I do not get into MVC or something else. So this is like HTML with JavaScript, TypeScript, and I can go and create a desktop application, right? So I will say that this is my Electron desktop app. So the first thing is we need to go and get the necessary Electron frameworks, right, or the necessary Electron.js files in our project. And also what I will do is, in this session, if you see, when you go online, right, for example, if you're going to Electron also, right, if you go and see their docs, what they have done is, in their docs, they have explained everything using without TypeScript. They have explained all the code using normal JavaScript. Now what I will do is, in this session, I'm going to use TypeScript because I feel that TypeScript is the way to go ahead, right? So I'm going to go and use TypeScript over here. So guys, what I will do is I will mute everyone, because so Naresh sir, I'm just muting you. I'm going to go and mute you. So whenever we have questions, always the mic is open. So the Electron.js documentation at this moment is pure JavaScript, and I'm going to go and use TypeScript in our code here, okay? Because I feel that at the end of the day, TypeScript is the way to go ahead, right? So here is my Electron desktop application. So in this, what I will do is, so by default, what it does is it creates this app.ts file. I will delete this app.ts file. There is an index page here. We will just say welcome to Electron. So welcome to Electron. Okay. So now first thing, we need to go and get the necessary frameworks in our application for Electron. So I will go and add the package.json file. So I'm going to go and add my package.json file. I hope that everybody's aware of Node, TypeScript, because at this moment I will not go into that. Let me just check, if everybody's aware of it. Sometimes there are people who are not aware of it. Are you guys aware of npm and TypeScript? So let me just put up a poll here so that we are all on the same page. Because this demo I'm going to go and show by using TypeScript, and I'm going to go and show by using Node, right? So I can see that some of the people are not aware of it. That's like half of the class, right? So I will just give it a 5-10 minutes of introduction on what is TypeScript and Node, okay? And for those 6 people out there, let me do that very quickly, okay? So what is TypeScript? Okay, TypeScript is nothing but it is a sugar-coated syntax on JavaScript, a sugar-coated object-oriented programming syntax. For example, now in JavaScript, if you want to create a what you call a kind of an object or a class, right? What you do is that you go and you write like function, and then you say customer, right? And then you say this is my property, right? So you actually go and write functions, because in JavaScript, at least till ES5, we did not have the concept of classes, right? Now, with this, what happens is, people who are coming from Java background, people who are coming from C# background, these people, when they come to JavaScript, it becomes very difficult for them to visualize how to create an enterprise application, because these people are coming from a background of classes, objects, abstract classes, interfaces, they understand like aggregation, composition. So when you tell these object-oriented programming guys to design something using functional programming, it becomes difficult, right? So for that, what Microsoft has done, they have created an open source called as TypeScript. So in TypeScript, what you can do is you can go and add a TypeScript file. So I can go and say here, I want to create a customer class. So you can go and you can write syntaxes using like class customer like this, right? But once you save this, what it does is it actually generates JavaScript at the background. So if you see here, that is a TypeScript equivalent of JavaScript. So you can see what TypeScript does is it actually, when you hit the compile or when you save it, at the background, TypeScript goes and compiles this and creates JavaScript. So that is TypeScript. Okay, so in this whole demo, I'm going to go and use TypeScript. The second one is we have something called as Node. Now, Node, so if you go and see this Node over here, so Node.js, I've just opened up this Node.js. If you go and read the sentence of Node.js, it says that it is built on the Chrome engine. Again, remember I said the best engine for JavaScript which is made is definitely Chrome. Okay, so what it does is this Node, it actually uses Chrome to execute JavaScript. So now let us say you have a JavaScript code and you want to run JavaScript outside the browser. If you see at this moment, you all run JavaScript inside the browser. But what if you want to run JavaScript outside the browser? Then you can take help of Node. That is the first use of Node. The second use of Node, they have something called as NPM, Node Package Manager. What is a Node Package Manager? This Node Package Manager is like your NuGet of Visual Studio. I'm sure that you guys must have used NuGet. So what does NuGet do? NuGet, if you want to go and install some third-party DLLs in your Visual Studio project, you will actually go to NPM in that NPM you can say you can go to your NuGet, and in the NuGet you can go and say I want to install NUnit or I want to install this, and it brings the DLL in your project, right? So this NPM is JavaScript Framework's NuGet. Okay, so once you install one of these node things over here, okay, I'm going to go and mute everyone's voice, mute all except me. Actually, what I have put my headphones so that is this. So what you can do is you can install this node, and once you install node, you get a command prompt like this, and then you can go and say, okay, I want to get jQuery. So npm install. I'm not sure if you're able to see the fonts here. You can go and just make it large. Medium. I can't do that. Okay. So npm install, I can say jQuery. So what it will do is it will go to GitHub, it will bring jQuery, the latest version, and it will actually go and copy that jQuery in my PC, right? So in this demo of Electron, I will not be using the pure node programming. I will be just using this npm to get the necessary Electron files in my project. So remember, you will find two set of programmers or two set of people who are using Node. One is pure Node programmers who will actually use Node to run an application outside the browser, to do coding and to create an application. The second, people who will just do npm. I think 90% of the people will be doing npm. They will be getting jQuery, they will be getting what you call open source frameworks of JavaScript by using npm, right? So in this project also, I wish to use Node to get my Electron.js things, right? Now, in Node, what happens is, now when you talk about a big project, you will not have one JavaScript framework, right? You will have a lot of JavaScript frameworks. You will need jQuery, you will need Angular, you will need this and that, right? So what these Node guys have done, they have created a file structure called as package.json. In this package.json, you can go and put, saying, I want to install this framework. Then I want system.js. And I want this. So you go and you put all of your dependencies into this package.json and you just do npm install. So wherever this package.json is, you will go over there and you will just do npm install, and it will go step by step and go and get to Electron, it will get to system.js, in case you have jQuery, whatever it is, it will get all of the the JavaScript frameworks in one go, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and use package.json, right? So you can see now in this package.json we have something called as dependencies and we have something called as dev dependencies. The dependencies of, when you define any JS framework in the dependencies, that means that that code will actually be used in your project. And when you define dev dependencies, means these are just tools. Like for example, these tools can be code review tools. Now code review tool does not become a part of your code. They are external tools which actually go and check that if your code is proper or not, right? For example, here you can see in my dev dependencies, I am having an Electron packager. Now this Electron packager, what it does is, it actually does package management. So definitely in my source code, I will not be calling Electron packager. So you can see that's why it is a part of dependencies. So dev dependencies. So remember, in dependencies, you will put things like jQuery, you will put things like Angular, right? While in dev dependencies, you will put tools like must be you have a server, HTTP server. You have Electron packager as I have now, or you have some code review tools, lint tools, right? So to do Electron, we need to do the following. We need the following things. One is we need Electron, right? So that is the core Electron. So from this Electron, we will probably need some things to be imported, and all that. Second, we need the Electron builder. This Electron builder and Electron packager are nothing but they help us to build the Electron package and they help us to create the setup of Electron. Okay, so we need these three things at least. Now, because I'm going to go and use TypeScript in my project, I need to get the types of Electron. What is this types? This types is termed as typings in TypeScript. Now, if you look at TypeScript, as I've explained that TypeScript, so if we just go and see TypeScript here, so I've shown a simple example of TypeScript. So you can see this TypeScript is a strongly typed language. Means in other words, let's say if I go and create here a string customer code like this, right? And if I go and when I say strongly typed, means not really strongly typed. Like strongly typed, it is not like C#. If you look at C#, like in C#, that is really strongly typed. Strongly typed means during compile time it will check your syntaxes. So from that perspective, I'm saying strongly typed. So strongly typed because at the end of the day, TypeScript will compile to JavaScript, and JavaScript is not strongly typed. So there is no way that TypeScript can be strongly typed, right? So here, I have to say here. So now, yeah, there are some like people who are new to TypeScript. You have to first create the variable name and then the data type. Okay. So now here I will say where cust is equal to new customer. Okay. And now you can see cust dot. You can see this cust dot customer code actually shows me IntelliSense. Now think about old frameworks like jQuery or frameworks like someone like Lodash or some framework which was made in 1990s of JavaScript. How can they embrace TypeScript? So what these old frameworks have to do is they have to actually expose out a typings file. This typings file actually tells that what are the different what are the methods in this open source, what are the functions, what are the properties, so that TypeScript can interpret them during the design time. So that's why over here I have also installed the typings of Electron. Because remember that Electron was made some 2-3 years back, and at that time TypeScript was not so famous, right? So definitely Electron was created with the old mindset. So they have released the typings of Electron. So this helps us to integrate Electron with TypeScript. Okay. So I'm going to go and take this package.json file which has all the necessary installations what we need for Electron.js. So let me go and copy this and let me go and put it in my application out here. So remember we had created this Electron desktop app. I'm just going to delete this. So I will go and add this package.json file. Add a new item. So npm. You can see the support of Node into Visual Studio. That clearly explains that how powerful JavaScript is, that even Microsoft has to give a green flag to it, right? So you can see here that this is my package.json file, right? And I would like to go and now do a npm install. You can see over here, even if you don't do an npm install, you can see that he has started downloading, so if you go and see this, already Visual Studio has started doing npm at the background. So if you go to the folder here, once the npm completes, over here in this folder, he will create a node underscore modules folder, and in that folder he will go and get all the Electron files, right? So quickly putting once again, until that installs, one is we need Electron, we need the Electron package management capability, and we need types of Electron so that we can integrate with TypeScript, right? So these are the basic things we need for Electron to start with. So guys, any questions at least till this time here, like what we need for Electron, what is Electron? Any queries till this stage? If you have any queries, you can go ahead. So just quickly revising, guys. Electron helps you to create desktop-based application using JavaScript and HTML, and these applications have that capability to access the native capabilities of operating system. Okay. Second, to do Electron, we need to get these 3 dev dependencies and the typings of Electron so that we can do using TypeScript. So I've just covered the basic part at this moment. I can see that there are some questions here. Guys, go ahead and put it on. Okay, so here is a question: how do we relate TypeScript with Electron? So I'm going to go ahead, Mani sir. I'm going to show the code of TypeScript, right? So I will be using TypeScript with Electron. So let me demo. Once I demo it, Okay, can you explain that Electron builder and packager? Okay, good question. So see what happens at the end of the day when you say that you want to give the final setup, right? So the final setup should be in some exe format, right? So where is that Electron? So here it is. Here is a simple copy of this is the Electron application. This Electron application, you can see I have compiled it. It has created some package files. It has put some DLLs. It has probably taken some engine of Chrome. I don't know what he has done, right? But you can see that I have a nice exe here called as your app.exe. So when I run this exe, it actually starts my application. So you can see now, this is the Electron application. Remember, it is running inside Chrome, but I cannot do a right click. I cannot do a view source. I cannot do a F12, right? So those things are all stopped. Everything is like just disabled over here, and it's running here. So in order to create this package, is where we need these two guys, the builder and the packager, to create the final exe, the final setup. Right. Good. So let me again go back to my syllabus here. So I talked about Electron.js. I talked about basic installation. Now, also I talked about architecture of Electron.js. So I don't have the diagram now, but I hope that you can visualize. So Electron runs on the Chrome engine. So it actually goes, it runs inside the Chrome engine. When the package management works, what it does is it takes up the necessary Chrome DLLs. In case you are from Windows platform, it will take the necessary Chrome setup and build it inside him. And when he runs inside Chrome, he ensures that Chrome does not have, it gets released from those disabilities of accessing the native platform capability. Okay. Now, again, from the architecture perspective, I would like to also explain that how this Electron.js actually works, because like normally what happens, when you run from Chrome, you actually run an HTML page. So if you look at the workflow here, so when you run a Chrome browser, you actually run HTML, and from that HTML, the application starts, right? But in case of, this one, the Electron, what happens is, he actually first, definitely he runs inside the Chrome. There is a main JS file, or I will say, okay, let's say he runs Chrome. Inside Chrome, he first runs his main process. This main process is like a big loop which keeps running. Okay. And from this main process, he spawns up saying, okay, so which window you want to open? You want to open home page. Okay, so open home page. So there is something called as a render process. Inside this render process, your UI will run. So from the main process, you can have a lot of render process. So like one render process will start and he will open home.html. Okay. Then that from the main process, again, there can be another render process which can start, which can run something, like render process. He can run about.html. So the way the architecture or the way the flow of Electron is, actually what, when I say Electron, I keep remembering app.js, because some years back I was doing app.js, so I know that word just comes out from my mouth. So when you actually do Electron, in Electron, the first the main process runs, and then from the main process, if you want to start a browser, like a home page, this page and that page, then you have to spawn a render process, and in each one of these render process, home.html and about.html runs, right? So any questions, guys, on this main process and render process? This is your web application. That's how it works, right? And this is your Electron application, which has the main process and render process. So I can see some questions out here. I'll answer them. Okay. The first thing a developer will ask that how do I do connection with database, right? Once you create a desktop-based application. So quickly, guys, if you want to go and connect to databases, I think one of the most favorable database for JavaScript is MongoDB, right? So you can go and install Mongo database and then you can go and open up a connection. So please go and see that how can you do MongoDB with JavaScript. Yes, you can do it, but remember that is not part of Electron. How to connect with databases, how to connect with this, right? That is a part of JavaScript actually. Okay, so must be you can look into a lot of open source frameworks, which actually helps you to connect to Mongo databases. Can we communicate Electron app to web app like kind of a service worker? Yes, you can connect. You can use again you have to make a call, a REST call, right? So a service worker, when I say like service worker, let me know what is that service worker. But if you say web app, a web application which is running somewhere on US or somewhere on a US server or some other server, right? For that, what you do is that you expose a service which is REST based and you can make a call. Okay. Right. So let us go ahead and see that how to create this main process, how to create this render process, right? So I'm going to go here. You can see, that's something very bad about Visual Studio. That NPM keeps going on for lifetime. So I'm going to go and use my core NPM to do it. So let me go to this thing here. Actually, I should switch myself to 2017. They have all the features of doing proper NPM, but I'm still in 2015 because there are some defects in 2017. The application just crashes, so that's why I've just not done it. So you can see like, so I'll do a npm install here, right? So I have the package.json and I'm trying to get all the necessary files here, right? So there it is happening. So let that happen at the background. Let me exclude this file from here. I do not want unnecessary npm at this moment. Right. I have excluded a file. It is still doing npm. Okay. We don't want this web config file anymore. It's not needed. We are creating a desktop application, right? CSS. Yeah, we need CSS, but at this moment I don't need it, right? So I have a page here, and in this page says welcome to Electron, right? And we want to go and run this as an Electron app. So first thing, we need to go and create a main process. Okay, so I'm going to go and right click here, and I will say add a new TypeScript file. I will say this is my main process.ts. This main process.ts is where I will go and I will write all that code which is needed for main process, right? Now, also let me see, my npm has been completed. It is doing the final things, looks like. Oh, that's good. You can see here, I'm not sure this is proper or not. It says that Electron provides its own type definition, so you do not need types Electron installed. So that means that @types probably from the package.json file you can remove it, guys. I can see that small warning out here. It's saying that you do not need it. Must be they must have packaged the types inside Electrons, because what I've seen is in their GitHub page there are huge complaints about that they do not get the types of Electrons. So must be they have packaged it in some time early now. So first thing is, so let that installation happen at the background. So what I've done is, again guys, I would be very frank on it. I'm not an Electron expert. You can see that I have a small notepad here called as R&D document of Electron done, right? Normally developers create those kind of text documents. So at this moment, my goal is to just look into Electron, just see that what it is doing and create a small app. So I have created a small app which actually connects to MongoDB, displays on a grid, right? But I'm not really an expert of Electron who has worked 2-3 years, right? So that's why you can see that there's a small text file I've made, R&D document of Electron, right? So in this, I have put on, the necessary code which will help me to complete this labs here. So first thing, okay, so let me go back again here. So I'll create a class here. I'll say that this is my main process. And definitely I will export this class because I want this main process to be accessed outside. So I put the export thing out there. Now the first thing, what you need to import from Electron is, hoping that Electron is installed. Still installing, that's bad. So the first thing is, from the Electron framework, I need two functions, or I'll say two classes, or I'll say two objects, right? One is the browser window and another one is the app. This app actually runs inside the main process. So this app object actually belongs, if you remember the diagram I've shown, in this main process is where this app object is. And in this render process is where that browser object is. So in this render process, that browser object. So the app belongs to the main process and the browser object belongs to the render process. And that makes sense because if you want to run home.html, you need browser, right? And the main thing what that runs is app. So you can see that there are two objects over here, right? Two functions that are exposed. One is the browser window and one is the app, right? So that's the first thing. Okay. So now let me go and declare some variables here. I'm going to copy this and I'll put it here. So what I've done here is I will talk about these variables. At this moment, just remember that these variables, declare something like, one declares an application object. This application means this app object. One declares a window object of the browser, and one again a browser window. I'll talk about these three variables. And you can see that what I've done is I've made them as static. Static means I just want a single instance of the object. So basically why I want a single instance? Because this main process is the only one process which will run inside Electron, right, inside Chrome. So I don't want to create multiple windows and multiple apps over here, because from here a lot of other things will spawn, right? So that's why I've just created everybody as static over here, so that I don't have multiple instances, right? Now Electron, by default, it starts from a method called as static main. The way in C# we have static void main, there is a method here called as static main. As soon as it enters the static main, right, he gives you two objects when he enters the static main. He gives you one app object and he gives you one browser window object, right? So both of these objects are provided as soon as Electron runs. The first thing is it provides you app object, which helps you to control the main process, and then he helps you to provide the browser window object from where you can go and spawn a lot of browsers, right, or a lot of UI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and store both of these browser window objects and app objects inside a variable. So if you remember, in this main process, I had created two variables, right? One is application and one is this. So what I've done here is this injected objects by Electron. Why I'm saying injected? Because he's providing these objects in an injected way in the function here. So these objects I'm just setting up to the application and I'm just setting up to the browser window. Okay, right. So now this main process will start first, and it has the power to create an application and it has the power to spawn a browser windows, right? Now this main application is continuously running, right? So this main application is like a worker process thread which keeps running, right? So it has a lot of events, like it has a window close event, it has a ready event. So you can see what I've done is in this main application. So in this main process, what I've done is to the application object. So you can see that we have this application object over here. I'm hooking up two events. One is a window closed event and one is the on ready event. So you can see this application object has some global events like window close, ready, window open, right? So I've hooked into those events, and I'm saying that when the window all close is called, please call the on window all close function. So I have not created this function still. When the on ready event happens, please call this on ready method. So what I will do now is I will go and I will create both of these methods. So you can see like this on window all closed, I have created it here. This on window all close, what it does is it actually does nothing. It actually just goes and quits the application. So you can see that it is checking that if this is not a Windows platform, right? Because if it is a Windows platform, then a lot of things are automatic, right? The window getting closed and all that. But if it is not a window platform, you know, he's calling this quit method out here. Okay. Now you can see there is one process object out there. Process. So okay, let me see that. So what that process is. Okay, first let me paste these events here. Then I will go. I can see that there are some error here on the process. That's fine. Also, what I'm doing is on the close event, I am just dereferencing any kind of window which is opened. I just want to make it null so that it gets released to the operating system. Remember, guys, when you're coding in Electron, one of the things which I've seen is that you can have a lot of memory leaks. You can have a lot of memory leaks because you know, Electron spawns a browser window, and if the browser window is crashing, it does not know what to do. So that is running in some process. This main process is not ended, right? So always I feel that, you know, I always see that there are a lot of what do you call, if there is something running and you close also the main window, the process is still running. So you can see these small things are important, making it null, calling the quit, right? Okay. So guys, I have named my class as main process. So I'm going to go and just say main process, right? So now here, So here what I'm doing is this thing out here in process.close. In the onReady method, if you see that we had this onReady event, right? In the onReady event, what I'm doing is I'm just going and opening up my page here index.html. So you can see now, this is my main process, and from this main process, I'm spawning up a main window. So from this process, I can go and spawn up a lot of windows. I can say main process, main window, and then open it, and then main process, second window. So you can see this new main process browser window with this width, with this height, and load it from this page, right? And you can also see that it's possible that I can get errors, right? So you can see that I'm opening up the DevTools. So I'm just opening up the DevTools to see it. What I can do is I can close this for now. I can just comment it, okay? This thing out here, what it does is it opens up the Chrome developer tools. I'm sure that you are aware of. So when you do F12, right, this is the developer tools. Now remember that when you are working with Chrome, you can do F12. But when you are working from Electron, you cannot do F12. So it actually goes and disables everything of the browser, right? So that's why the F12 is not available, and you have to enable from inside the code. Right, so there it is. I can see that there are some errors here. Let me check out why these errors are here. Let me refer to my code here. So that's why I've kept that R&D code. Process. I'm not sure why that process is not. Actually, I should get a process.platform. Okay, let me see. Did my node install? What is it doing? It is still installing. That is not good. Okay. Looks like there is some problem in Electron.js installation, so that's why those errors are there. Let me do like this. Let me go to my project here, and let me do npm again. There's some problem out there. I thought it was doing it at the background. Okay. So CLS and npm install. Right, let me do it. So guys, until this installation happens, right? Any questions on the main code here? Right. So guys, what I've done, I've just done npm again because for some reason I'm not getting this process objects and all things, right? So you can see it's throwing up errors now. But any question at least on the main process code? Any queries on the main process code? Let me see the Q&A box here. Okay. When you should delete this corresponding comment when equal to null. Okay. Is Electron app to Electron app communication using the browser feature like local storage? So basically, okay, so here's a question here. Can I use local storage? Can I use session storage? See, this local storage and session storage, if you want, you can use it. But it does not make sense for Electron, right? Because in Electron, we can always use a database. We can write to a file. Remember, it's a desktop application. It has to behave like desktop. So you do not need to really use those things. When you are coding in Electron, you have to have a Windows mindset. You have to have a desktop mindset. So you can just save to file. You don't need all that local storage and everything. Code on GitHub is below when close this, and there's dereference window. Usually you store windows in an array. Yes. So yes, because at this moment, yes, normally if you see a lot of these serious applications, right? In those serious applications, you will not have main window. You will have a lot of windows, right? So normally they create an array of windows and they ensure that they loop and they make it null. So yes, in actual projects like one which I've made now, what I've done in that project, from the main process, one MDI form pops up. I'm not sure if you have done WinForm programming, right? MDI means a form which has all the menus, and then from there my other forms pop up. So basically I have an array of forms. So yes, you will end up with arrays. Array of forms. Okay. Right. So what is it? It is still doing npm. What happened? Electron desktop app. Okay. It has done something, but okay. Let me do something, guys. I can see that my errors have still not gone off. Let me just do npm install again. I'm doing Electron. I'm not sure if it is because of this. If you see, I have my sample application out here. This is perfectly right. Just took that file. I'm not sure why all this is red. Let me rebuild my solution. Let me see. Oh, cannot find promise. Okay, my TypeScript compilation. Okay. Oh. So I've decided to use TypeScript, so I need to have a TypeScript file here, guys. So I'm sorry for this. So I will add a typing file. This tsconfig file that's missing out here. This tsconfig file defines, how your compilation process is, right? So of your TypeScript. So I'm going to go and copy this as it is here. So it's the same. I've just said that I don't have to worry about ES6. Okay. I think with this, I think my error should go off. Look at that. That was the problem. Sorry for that. Okay. So what is this tsconfig file? Guys who are in TypeScript, they know it. But this tsconfig file, it says that how will your TypeScript compile? So what was happening is, like, I was coding here, but my tsconfig file was absent. So it was actually just using the default settings of Visual Studio to compile, right? So you can see now everything is there. I will just rebuild my solution. Okay, and let's rebuild. Once succeeded, everything good here. So now that the application is created, I would like to go and run this application. I would like to go and create a package of this application, right? So to create the package, again, let us go here to our console. So to create a package, what you need to do is you need to go and say, you need to use your Electron package manager, right? So I'll say your Electron packager. So you can see the syntax here. I'm going to the command prompt here. And I will say here, Electron, I don't know if you guys are able to see this. It's so dark. So you can see here, I'm typing here in the command prompt, Electron packager, right? And I will just say enter. Now what this Electron packager does, this Electron packager will actually go first to my JSON file. So it will actually go to my package.json file. So if you remember, we had this package.json file. And in this package.json file, it will go and first search for the first JS. Oh, you can see that. That's mistake I've done. Okay. So over here, I should have written main process.js, isn't it? You can see here, I have not done that. Okay. So, right. So over here, okay. So I'll write main process.js. So means it will go to the main here, and from here he will actually build up the package. Now again, one more thing. You can see that this main process is there here, but somebody has to kick off this main process, right? So what I'm going to do is at the last, I will go and I will start the main process. In other words, the way I've done here. Okay. What I will do is I will, rather than starting from the main process, let me create something like app.js. This app.js, or I can say bootstrap.js. This will actually go and bootstrap my Electron. So I'm going to go and add startup.js here, or I've named it as app.ps, so app.js, right? In this app.js, what I'm doing is I'm actually importing the main process, right? I'm importing the main process and I am passing him. So you can see that I'm saying main process here, main process, and I'm passing him the current app and the browser window. So you can see in this main process, I'm passing him the current app and browser window. So it actually goes into this main, it goes into the static main here, and then from there our onReady event happens, right? So this app.ts you can think about like it's like a bootstrap, right? So in this package.json, I will go and put app.js. App.js will actually kick off main process.ts, and from there all the windows will open, right? So now again I'll rebuild this. Duplicate identifier, yeah. That's horrible. I'll tell you why that duplicate identifier error is. So I will rebuild the solution here. Right, so I'm already now all set. My package.json file is pointing to app.js. App.js is kicking off main process, right? And from there my windows are popping up, okay? So I will go now and say Electron Packager. It will create the packager necessary package files. So you can see now my Electron Packager is running. It is saying here packaging app for Win32. In case if this was a Linux platform, or in case if it was some Mac, right, machine or something, then accordingly we create the exes and the package management. So that it is doing. Once this whole package system is created, what it does is over here in this folder, you can see that he has created this your app Win32x64. Now because at this moment my operating system is 64-bit, you can see that he has created this. So it's still doing the packaging. So remember, we have two parts to Electron. One is the source code, which actually disables the Chrome, the other things of the browser. It makes Chrome access the native application, a native power of operating system. And second, it has a package management system which helps you to create the packages. So that is happening. So any questions, guys, until this package gets created? I don't know, it's taking time, but it will happen soon. So at least any questions on the basic part of how Electron works. Now there are some, I will not say negative points, but a lot of improvements that definitely Electron has to do, right? All this thing, if you say like you want to create a desktop application which has a lot of screens, a lot of buttons and all that, definitely you need a lot of tooling support, right? Okay, so there it is. You can see that he has created it. So let us go to our your app win, and you can see that this is the exe, right? So when I go and open this exe, so there it is. You can see now, welcome to Chrome that is running, and I can put a button here. I can execute JavaScript. I can do a window.open. I can connect to Mongo databases. I can have a text box. So I can do a lot of things in this, this thing. So I can now go and ship this whole exe, what you can see out here, to anywhere, and I can run this as a Windows application. So any questions, at least on the basic part of what is Chrome? Yes, so every package management system, like depending on the OS, for example, at this moment I have 64, so it will be a different compilation, different exe type. With so many JavaScript already in the market, what does Chrome.js add to? So with a lot of things out here, Chrome.js helps you to bring native applications. It helps you to create desktop application. So here it is. If you look at other things like Node, or if you look at other desktop based like app.js, right? If you look at all of these applications or these frameworks who actually who help you to run JavaScript outside the browser, this guy Electron.js specially says I am a desktop based application. I'm not like Node where I will run server, or I'm not like app.js I will run as a background process. I'm very specific. I will create an exe, and that exe will have HTML and JavaScript bundled, which I can go and install in any of the operating system. So Electron.js is very specific. It is to create desktop based application. Command for build and run app. Is it npm start? No, you don't have to do npm start. Npm start is to run your server. You don't have to do that. Just Electron package up. The one which I did, I just showed it, right? I don't need to do that. That's a good question. It is shipping with source code. That is a sad part. It's not a sad part. You can go and disable the source code. So yes. It does not ship the source code, but it does ship the JavaScript. So you can see in this app folder here, you can see that he has shipped the JavaScript now. You can see also it has shipped the TypeScript here. At this moment, it has shipped the TypeScript. So now what you should do is, first thing, you should run package management system like Webpack. First thing, like if you see here, it has shipped my tsconfig file, it has shipped my package, it has shipped literally everything, right? So first thing what you have to do is, you have to run Webpack, some kind of a package management system, who will go and, take out the HTML and JavaScript into a separate folder, and then go and run the Electron package manager. So remember that you should not be running Electron package manager directly as I've done. This was just a demo, right? So normally how you will do is, you will actually go and first run Webpack and create a separate JS file, and then you will go and run Electron package manager. So at this moment, with the one which I've shown, yes, it will ship, or else use Webpack. Will it also serve enterprise or consumer? So it serves for desktop-based application. The only problem is at this moment with Electron.js is the complication of development. Somebody has to really understand how this main process works, how this worker process works, right? Especially with the TypeScript, really those typing sometimes gives you bad syntaxes. The package management, sometimes it crashes unnecessarily without things. For example, if I want to debug out here, it is so difficult, right? Okay, so I have to again say open debug tools. So there are a lot of challenges in development, but slowly they are advancing to it. So I've seen that Electron is making quite a progress. And I can see that there are a lot of good applications created using Electron. I don't have to say that. Already Pradeep has said on the site. But if you see the success of Electron, there are a lot of applications, and one of the applications which we use is VS Code. This application is completely in Electron. So definitely Electron has that power to scale up. And why I'm so optimistic of Electron is because VS Code is built on Electron. Now what happens is, Microsoft has put a lot of bets on VS Code, so they won't let Electron die by any way. So what the news I've heard is that a lot of Microsoft guys are now checking in code into Electron, so that will make Electron more stronger. So I feel that yes, Electron is good, but I think we all have to, you have to do a proper POC for it, right? Because you can see that I did so many things here. I wrote the code, then I ran the package manager, I created the exe. There are a lot of things which I was doing here, which probably you want to just do it on one build, right? So that integration part we need to take care. So do a small POC, see that how it works, see how TypeScript is working. If you're comfortable with it, then nothing like it, right? Creating a desktop-based application using HTML. Okay. So guys, I think I will not take the other topics because it is already 9:57. I think I wasted my time in doing NPM. But I will quickly tell you, I have completed everything almost. I have completed debugging. I didn't complete debugging, but I did completed package management. I completed architecture, right? If you want to do debugging, I will just show you the code here. So if you want to really do debugging, what you have to do is you will just go and put this code out here. If you do this, it will open up the dev tools. Okay, it will open up the dev tools and you can then do debugging, right? So that's how you do debugging. Second, there is something called as IPC events, inter-process event calls. Now, as I've said that I have a main process and then I have a render process, right? So what if this main process and render process, if they want to communicate with each other, that's where this inter-process events comes into picture, right? So if you want to do Electron, then first thing, if you want to go more depth into Electron, you can see this electron.atom.io, and these docs are really very good. They have explained with a lot of examples, so you can see what is an app, what is a browser window, and a lot of things. And you can see here, they have a lot of components which they are designed like menu items, system tray, so multi-threading. So I think you should really go through this documentation out here, which is a huge literature which will help you to build application. And definitely I would suggest look at the advanced section, because I've been going through the advanced section now. And over here, they have said that what is the build instruction for Linux, what is the build instruction for Mac, right? and all that. So I think this makes more sense because I've been using Electron with NW. There's an NW here, and the time you have a node kit, node web kit, then you need to understand how the build instructions are. But I think today's lecture was all about to show you that how you can develop desktop-based application using Electron and what is the basic thing about it. So guys, any questions? It's almost 10 o'clock here, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Any queries before I end the session? If you have any questions, you can put in the Q&A box here. I will go in a mute now, and I will answer the questions. So any questions you can put on the Q&A box. I can just show you the source code. So all this source code, etc., I will share on the Mumbai Techie Group site. So we have this Mumbai Techie Group here, right? And so in Mumbai Techie Group, we do a lot of information sharing. Thank you, Pradeep, to put that Happy Friendship Day. It's so nice to see that, right? And yeah. And like we have been running this group almost like for 1 or 2 years now, and much more than that. I don't want to talk about the history now, but we have been running it for a long time. And it's nice association with Pradeep. Thank you, Pradeep, to take care of this Mumbai Techie Group. And because it takes a lot of effort, right, to get up on Sunday 9 o'clock, like to be active. Like this time is like time for gala time, but you come at 9 o'clock, you ensure that everybody's there, and all that, right? So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking your time and providing this valuable information. Okay, thank you everyone for joining here and staying awake and attending this session. It's I hope it was very fruitful for everyone. And I'll be uploading the video. I already recorded the video. I'll be uploading on YouTube channel. We have a channel. I'll be uploading the code. I'm uploading the video as well as the code I'll be sharing with you. And please do comment on the video or the thing with how it gone and how it was. Please do share your suggestion. Please do share your feedback. That is very helpful for us. Any questions? No questions? So we'll wrap up for the day. It's 10 o'clock and have a great day, guys. No questions? Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Thank you.